So we moved. It's pretty crazy, you know, especially since we spent like a couple hours getting that other place set up.
Yeah, but we're constantly changing.
Yeah.
You know, adapting. We got a new surfboard.
We got a new surfboard.
We got a nice trucker hat right here.
Honestly, I love this hat and I hate it at the same time. Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because this hat, it's something that you can't read, but at the same time, it's something that you can read if you know what it is. So that's why I hate it. Now, why I love it is because it shows the whole process, you know? Like this I made in the summer when I was just trying to finally get things out. But I realized I'm rushing, right? Because this is not legible to somebody who's just wearing it and they don't know what it means. Or like they don't actually take the time to look at it. But now I've learned to have more patience with what I'm doing. So understanding that might not make sense. So this showed like my trial and error period, which is why I like it and which is why I'll still wear them. And I think a reason why people wear them as well is because of the message. But I'm getting ready to start. Well, not getting ready. I'm finally actually getting into it and making things that make sense, like from design point of view. Like from this hat, I've done so much more research, so much more understanding of how the design makes sense versus, all right, I'm just going to throw something on a canvas, hope it sticks. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, then not. You know, like that definitely wasn't the right way to go. But back to I'm happy we moved into here. This place is awesome.
I like this a lot. So what you're saying about the hat and just in general, finding what works for you and what works for the consumers on a long-term basis, more or less. So like you understand and you're learning from this as an art piece almost.
Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at this and you're saying, you know, can't really read it too much. Like maybe this isn't the quality that I want to be outputting stuff, but it's all about growing, like we said on the last podcast. And it's all about growing not only as a person, but as a brand and being able to build upon those designs that you have made in the past. Like that's a big part of a lot of people who do art. And they'll say if they want to do one drawing or one script, right? They start it one day and then they do it again the next day, do the same thing over and over and over again for 10, 12 days, maybe a month. They're doing the same drawing. And then on that 30th day, when they're doing that same drawing, it comes out finally the way they envisioned it in their head.
Yeah.
It's that trial and error period that ultimately blossoms the true creation of what you envisioned.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, getting to understand that trial and error period, like it's still taking time. I think anybody who actually puts themselves, well, you know what? I take that back because I feel like everybody has their own trial and error in any aspect of life, whether that be studying for a math exam or like painting a surfboard, like something like this or whatever.
Or picking up girls at the bar.
I mean,
it's all the same thing.
Literally everything. And it's crazy because when I started going from like day-to-day life, right? Let's say surfing, okay? Like trial and error in surfing is huge. Like you just hit your, what was it? You hit your arm or something?
Yeah, I people's elbowed my my surfboard off a cutback.
People's elbow,
the WWE, you know. But yeah, like you get hurt, you come back, you know, there's ups, there's highs, there's lows, and it's fine. It's fine. It's all fun. Like I was surfing out there a bit chilly for like 2 hours yesterday.
Yeah, you ripped your wetsuit, right?
Yeah, and we're located in beautiful New Jersey,
Jersey
surfing
Shore.
in the winter, you know, so it gets cold out there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so like I was just speaking about how it applies with every single aspect of life, right? So I mean, as far as surfing, and then you can go down to art itself. So how it applies to me, and one way that I think I've found peace, I would say, with this trial and error period that I'm going through constantly, never ending, I mean, is understanding that with time, things completely always get better as long as you're doing your best to get to that point. So when I'm printing a t-shirt, for the first time, at first, like before, which is what was killing me, was I was expecting it in one day. Oh, I'll be able to just burn a screen, wash it out, put it on the press, and just print it. And well, that's first of all uneducated of me, and I should have done definitely more research before getting to that point, but I saved it for the time being. But I had to understand that it takes time. It's not going to come out a perfect print the first time. I had to go through 30 different screens, and that was okay. And learning to understand that was okay was the most important. Understanding that the first output isn't going to be the best, but over time, your best will continuously get better. And then that's how like artists perfect their craft. That's how professional, like what were you, D1, right, in football? Yeah. Like that wasn't easy, for sure not, right?
No, it's not easy getting there, It takes a lot of work. You got to, the same thing with art. And like, if you have a vision for your future, you just got to put in the time and the effort to make that happen.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is not acting for the end result. Like, you're not printing t-shirts to just have a t-shirt. Like, you're printing t-shirts because you love the process of creating those t-shirts.
Yeah,
you're painting not because you want to throw it on a wall and look at it every 2 weeks when you walk in your office. You're painting because you love the process of picking up the brush and stroking it on the canvas. You understand?
Yeah, just creating something. Mm-hmm. I love that. Exactly what you're saying. I couldn't have said it better myself. So what would you say for me? I mean, from your point of view, for me to have more patience with what I'm doing, what's something that you think I can learn from, let's say, I mean, you getting to that point in football. That's fascinating. The fact that you got to Division I football in college. Like, from that process, what's something that you can hand to me for something like this business? Because I don't even care what you're doing. I just want everybody on here to understand that methods from different things can, especially in personal development, can apply to all. So from your trial and error experience with your career, and I don't know if you want to call it a career, because you're not going to be professional football.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done playing football. Yeah. And the thing is like, by no means have I made it to where I envision my future to be yet. You understand? So like, it's not like I look at myself and I say I made it, but I've fully believed and embodied that where I want to go is where I'm headed. So a big part of the football, and a big part of me playing guitar, and a big part of me surfing and skiing, right? And it's finding some sort of inspiration and being able to draw that inspiration into all of your action, right? So if I wanted to be a professional football player, and you draw inspiration from J.J. Watt or some NFL player, right? And you study them, and you don't only study the way they move, but you study the way that they go about their morning routine, they go about eating meals, and they go about doing everything, right? And it's not that you're going to go and copy one other person piece by piece, right? But you become a compilation of all of your influence. So I think it's much better for me to put this example on the guitar. So I've been playing guitar now for a little over 3 years, and
that's it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but that was one thing I put my mind into, and I said, I'm going to be better at this than I am at anything else that I do. And I said that as soon as I started playing guitar, I was like, I really like this. I'm going to put as much time as possible into this. And by me just taking the time to invest it in myself and sit down in front of a television, holding an electric guitar and not going out for the night, telling my friends I can't hang out, and sitting with my electric guitar in front of the television and watching John Mayer and B.B. King and Buddy Guy and all these famous guitarists.
The greats.
Yeah, exactly. The greats play the guitar, and I essentially become a collaboration of all of these guitarists dead or alive, but I become a collaboration of all of them, right? So all of their creations essentially become one.
Learning from
Exactly.
every single person.
Because like no creation is truly wholly original. I fully believe that. I believe that no creation comes from me even. I'm the vehicle by which creation manifests in this world.
There's a really good book on that. It's called Steal Like an Artist. I think I gave it to
Yes, you gave it to me. Yes,
Dude,
exactly.
That book is awesome. If you guys haven't checked that out, 10 out of 10 recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Flynn, Steal Like an Artist, I think it's called, or How to Steal Like an Artist.
How to Steal Like an Artist. That was a great book, and it does touch on that. It touches on the aspect of how your imagination, your creativity isn't a physical, material thing. That creativity, that imagination exists on a quantum level, one that we can't see, one that we can tune into. When I'm writing a song or when I'm doing a piece of art, I'm not thinking, oh my goodness, this is so good coming out of me. Like, no, like I'm tuned into the channel where that art exists. So my brain is a radio receiver, and that song exists somewhere in the universe. All I have to do is tune myself to it. It's already been written for me. When you're doing a painting or you're writing a song, it's like putting together a puzzle because the song already exists. You're simply just figuring out how it actually goes. You're trying to remember how the song goes.
Yeah, and that's like the creative process, the wonders of it, like tapping into that certain creative touch point where it could be music, it could be art, it could be fashion, it could be the way that you dress yourself in the morning, like art has no rule. But the fact that you can take that and say, all right, this is just becoming of me once I tap into it. So if you want to, like I said, get dressed in the morning, like how does that make sense? So if you wake up in the morning and you get dressed, what I prefer to do, I don't know if you do this, I set aside my clothing from the night before, and like the morning I get up and go. But this is for somebody who likes to dress up, like I respect that. Cool. That you tap into like a certain meditational point when you think about it on a deeper level. Like, all right, I want to match these colors. Let's say you want to match like the tree behind you. Mm-hmm. You have, what do you got? You got green and you got like bark brown. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to match those colors, those are natural colors. You definitely do it. And then you tap into that point and you go deeper and deeper and deeper. What color are my socks going to be? My shoes, this, that. And when you go all the way up to like making clothing, fashion, let's say design, let's say you're making a table or something, right? Making a table, you tap into that really creative spot, and you're, like you said, you're just tapping into it and pulling it out of what already kind of it doesn't exist, but it's there in I don't even know how to explain that. I guess like it's just, you gotta just really tap in is what I'm trying to get across for sure.
And a lot of times those creations come from going within yourself, because there lies so much imagination, creativity, hidden, suppressed emotions in that like shadow that you hold, the subconscious, right? And I think exploring within yourself and kind of bringing those about it as a way of almost therapy. A lot of creators and a lot of artists go within themselves, and their art is their therapy. Mm-hmm. Because they're bringing about those suppressed emotions and the shadow that they've hidden for so long out in their creations.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
It's a way of coping with the past. It's a way of preparing yourself for the future, in a sense.
Yeah, and accepting the present, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
As we always do.
Always. But to get back onto more of like a routine, mm-hmm. right? So how you were on the football team. You probably had a crazy routine. Right now, I know my routine personally is just like it's so on point, but it never was like that. I never really found a purpose, I would say, with a routine until about 6 to 8 months ago, I'd say. I read this book called Atomic Habits, and that flipped the script. Like that flipped the script. I recall you were talking about like a domino effect of something before.
Yeah. So I'm with you where I've had a steady routine from football, right? But football was my routine. It wasn't my choice to have that routine. For a long time, I would much rather wake up at 11 o'clock in the morning than wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go run on a football field and force feed a breakfast down my throat, But with time, I understood that having that routine is super beneficial. And now I'm on a very steady routine. And I think the morning routine and the nighttime routine are almost essential.
But what made you realize that?
I think just inspecting how my days were going when I had the routine versus when I didn't. So seeing, am I happy today? Am I motivated today? Was I disciplined today? And like really going within myself and saying, did this make me feel fulfilled? Did this day make me feel fulfilled when I had no plan? Mm-hmm. Or did my day when I planned it out and was highly productive seem more rewarding to me? Because I feel like when I invest my time strategically in myself, that I reap the rewards from that, right? You go to bed feeling fulfilled. You go to bed feeling content with your actions in the day. Like, you don't feel that way when you wake up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and go eat fast food and smoke some pot and go do these things that are not serving you, right? These actions that are bringing you down. But the domino effect I was talking about was when you wake up in the morning, like yesterday, I really thought about this yesterday, was I woke up in the morning and I wanted to hit snooze. I got up out of bed, turned off my alarm, and I was like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I have another 20 minutes. No, you don't. No, you don't. What are you talking about? So didn't hit the snooze button. That was my first good decision of the day. The next good decision was to go downstairs and get ready, go right to the gym, okay? And it's like, okay, now I'm at the gym. Do I just get lifting and do a quick workout and get out of here? No, I'm going to hop on the treadmill, run 1.5 miles on the treadmill. That's my second good decision of the day, right? I started the workout tough. I'm sweating. Okay, now I go work out hard. Now I get in the shower after the workout. Okay, do I feel comfortable in the shower? The hot water, oh, that feels so good. No, turn it cold. You know what I'm saying? So like these decisions that you make build on one another. They compound. And that's just an example of my morning yesterday.
Right.
But think about that. If you keep building on that morning all afternoon, all night, the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, and it just compounds into this. You create that life by making these decisions that serve you. It's the domino effect of as soon as you make the first one, the next is to follow, the next is to follow.
Exactly. And I would say that it goes both ways. Like if you make negative decisions, especially I found this with my schedule. So I was following a lenient schedule earlier this year where I would wake up 5:30. I'd go to synagogue, pray at 6 o'clock, whatever, get my morning going. And then I found that when I wasn't going to sleep at the same time every day, my entire schedule went completely out of whack. I wouldn't be waking up the same time. I wouldn't have my head on right during the day. I would be tired. And just the entire flow of the schedule didn't work. Why? Because I made one negative decision. I made one bad one. So like you were saying, all those positive domino effects. This negative domino effect of not going to sleep on time, which forced me to not wake up on time, which forced me to give myself an excuse that I could start my day later, which gave me the next excuse that, I should be able to do this, and then that, and then that. And then once you get into that kind of that groggy flow of things, and it's just not as on point and focused, your entire structure gets obliterated. So when I started actually going to sleep the same time every night, waking up the exact same time every night, no matter what, that positive domino effect, kind of like you said, completely like enhanced my life tenfold. Like I've never felt more productive, energetic. I've never felt more focused in my life. Like it's truly fascinating. And to bounce on that, James Clear wrote this book called Atomic Habits. That book kind of initiated this. So I was saying before how I wasn't always this way. I wasn't always schedule focused, goal oriented, and whatnot. And it was because of my habits. So I had bad habits. I read this book by James Clear called Atomic Habits, which means like small habits and whatnot. And as I was reading it, he talks about this thing called the habit cycle. There's cue, craving, response, reward. There's 4 different parts to that habit cycle. So the cue for me, I realized, was, okay, we got to wake up. So my alarm rings. That's a cue. I'm waking up 5:30. Craving is I got to be up for the day. I got to get going. I know that I have this entire day ahead of me. Regardless whether I'm tired or not, I still got to go. So cue, craving, response would be me jumping up. Just literally as soon as my alarm rings, I jump up. And my phone is on the other side of the room like you were saying before. Mm-hmm. So then the reward, right? So how do you reward yourself? Personally, so I do the cold showers at night also. When I'm feeling too privileged, I'm in the warm shower, I'm like, all right, turn it cold. But in the morning, I reward myself with the hot shower. So this way I repeat the loop. The habit cycle continues. So I'll be more enticed to do that same thing the next day because I don't have a negative thought from it. Like if you wake up at 5:30 and you're all groggy and that's all you remember for the rest of the day, that you woke up at 5:30 and you're all groggy, like you're not going to want to do that the next morning. So when I implemented that one point to complete the habit cycle, then I got to finally get in a flow of things. I'm getting a shower, habit cycle repeated. Okay, great. I get in the car, I go. I get my day started. I reward myself meditation, or I reward myself with positive thinking. And that all just flows because of that one initial start, which that completely changed, enhanced and changed at the same time, which was awesome.
It implemented a discipline in your life, but also an eager discipline.
Yeah.
Like you're eager to go about your day and wake up early because you know you have so much to live for every day. And that's the thing about the self-growth journey, the transformational journey. You start to look forward to your days, right? You're not resisting life. I think there's a whole part of me that used to resist life. Like I didn't want to go to class. I didn't want to go to football.
Tell me about it.
I don't want to eat this much and gain weight for football. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Right. But you're going to do it anyway. So you're just causing your own suffering, So when you get into those atomic habits, like making your bed, brushing your teeth for 2 minutes, really consciously going throughout your day and being disciplined in it, you're eager to do the things that you were fighting and resisting before.
And compounding.
Yeah.
Like really investing in yourself.
Because you understand the reward that it has, right? And the reward is just feeling fulfilled and content and aware and loving, right? And you just feel better about yourself, about the world. And you see that reflected in your life through your monetary status, right? You see that reflected in your job. You see that reflected in your relationships. By growing as a person, you have that radiant effect on the world.
Yeah, your overall mind is also just way, way better no matter what, Like that's awesome. And then to touch on like how that affects and that compounds, right? We were trying to understand the impacts of compounding. And so you start off with here, right? You start off, let's say you're working on your mind. You starting off, you wake up every day, same time. And that's great. Baby steps, like don't jump into anything head first and have everything on your plate at first. Get going, understand what you're doing, and then move forward. So you start off here, you start off working on that. Then that's enhancing who you are as an individual, right? So then you work on that first. Next, what's next? I don't know, let's pick up a skill. Let's learn how to do graphic design. Let's learn how to play the piano. Let's learn a new language. And once you have that flow going, because you have structure in your life now. You have that schedule, you have a routine, you have habits that you know how to build. You now can implement that across all mediums in your life. So you want to learn the piano? Okay, let's see. It takes about, what does it take? 10,000 hours, 30,000 hours to like really master.
I think they say 10,000 hours to master any skill.
So 10,000 hours to master a skill. First step, okay, that's not getting done in a day, right? Take it easy, take a deep breath. And 2, you schedule it. Okay, well, how are we going to schedule 10,000 hours? How many hours a week do I want to do this? How many hours a day do I have to spare to learn this skill? And then applying that to the entire process, giving yourself a guideline for how to actually get that skill and learn it and enjoy it. I mean, and if you start the skill, by the way, and you don't enjoy it, people have to know that it's okay to just drop it, move on to the next thing. Don't do something that you're not enjoying, because the whole idea of doing the things that you love is to do the things that you love, not to do the things that other people would love you to do.
Mm.
Hear what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, I mean, if you can apply that to your life and start gradually building and growing your skills, growing your decision making, growing all these different parts of yourself, that compound is never ending. That compound is always growing. That compound is constantly compounding.
Mm-hmm. And the more compound you have, the more fun you have.
Yeah,
right? So, like, if you have all these skills, right? Like, if you take the time to learn a bunch of skills, find a bunch of hobbies, are you ever bored? Boredom is the devil's playground. People who are bored all the time, usually nothing good is happening in their mind, in their life, right? If you're bored all the time. I hate that. You say, I'm bored. You know, you're bored. Go do something.
I used to be bored, and now I don't even know what it means to be bored. No. Not even in a cocky way, because that people take that the wrong way. Like, if you tell somebody, like, do you know what it means to be bored? Like, have you ever had a conversation with somebody about this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get to have conversations, and people tell me that I'm arrogant because I don't know what it means to be bored. Does that make sense?
No, because
I'm genuinely curious right now.
You have created this for yourself, and you have cultivated a life where boredom doesn't exist. You've created a reality where boredom doesn't exist.
I love that we're speaking on this. I'm sorry.
If you're bored, like, go find something to do, right? I have all these things I do. People are like, oh, you're so interesting. Your life must be, they see me on the Being account. Like you were saying last time, like, people are like, oh, your life must be great. Your life must be perfect. And it's like, dude, like, I just do a lot of things that I love to do. I have a lot of things I love to do. Like, I love to ski. I love to surf. I love to play music. Man. I love to do podcasting. I love to make videos, right? And when you have a lot of things that you love to do, that you're passionate about, how could I be bored?
Gosh.
How could I be bored?
And you're always looking for something new also. Once you get into that idea of, like, all right, I want to just try new things. I want to get out there. I want to explore who I am, you know? You can fully just never ending, I don't even know how to say this, constantly try new things, because you're always looking to compound on yourself. You're always looking to improve. You're always looking for new things. So that boredom, like, where's the boredom? The boredom only comes when you're not doing anything. That's why you're bored. You're not doing anything, but you should never not be doing anything.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, too, is, like, people don't know how to sit quietly, right? What happened before phones? What happened before laptops and technology? Nobody can sit quietly on a porch and enjoy themselves watching the cars go by anymore. I shouldn't say nobody, because I feel like I can do that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're loving of yourself, if you're comfortable and in a place within yourself that you can enjoy silence, boredom has no place in your life. Mm-mm. And it's about, and boredom is a reflection of the insecurities within you, the anxieties within you, and it shows that you should go within yourself and inspect yourself. Why am I bored? Why am I not doing anything? Right? And you start to inspect that, and it opens up a world of new possibilities for you.
Yeah, and then you can work on that. Like, as soon as you start asking yourself the right questions, you know, you ask yourself the question, why am I bored? Okay, you get down to the next question. You ever hear the 5 whys? You ever hear that before?
Remind me.
So the 5 whys is basically how to boil down a point. You ask yourself the first why, then the second why, third, fourth, and fifth. And the concept is, by the time you get to the 5th why, you'll completely understand whatever you're trying to ask yourself. So when you ask yourself that, well, that's how, I would say that's how I even got to where I am right now. Like, in life, I started asking myself the why, the right questions, and just constantly doing that every single day. Like why would you say that sentence even? Like, even to become more conscious about how I'm speaking to others. You know, I'm not perfect, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. I don't try to pretend to be. If my social media seems that way, it's because I'm just trying to help other people and I'm trying to make it myself. You know, I'm not going to make it in this crazy huge world by doing nothing. I have to make it by doing something, and by putting myself on social media, trying to provide value and help people. That's how I plan to make it. And I don't think that's me trying to pretend or anything. I don't think that's me trying to put up a facade. I'm only trying to help. So I completely.
You're trying to be your authentic self through that.
Right.
Right. And I think authenticity in everything you do is very important. Right. So if you're authentic in nature as you create, right? Every human being is inherently creative. Right? People who say, I'm not creative, I'm not this. We touched on that last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is creative. You've lost your creative ability by mindlessly consuming. Every person is creative.
It's too much info. Way too much info.
Way too much, right? Inspiration is different than consuming. Yeah. I mean, they are one and the same, but...
No, but they're different.
I think there's a big difference between mindlessly scrolling and consciously consuming.
Yeah,
right?
because when you're consciously consuming, it's like a tongue twister. When you're consciously consuming, you know what you're looking for, and your emotions don't get mixed up and thrown across 800 different walls. When you're just mindlessly scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, and this is like something I really want to get on, like people have to understand how detrimental this is to their health, their well-being, their mind. Because when you're scrolling on these platforms mindlessly and you just see all of these different types of videos, it's playing with your emotions. Like, you could go from seeing a cute dog video to like
somebody hit by a car.
Yeah. Like, I literally saw somebody drive directly into somebody on purpose. Like, I don't need to see that. Like, why do I have to see that? Mm-hmm. And that's me admitting that I scroll too, you know? Like, I am in the scroll as well. It's hard to get off of, especially when you're trying to post on social media. Mm-hmm. Definitely. But I mean, that's that. You got to keep your emotions in check.
Your social media feed, and I found this, is you become your feed.
Oh yeah.
It's an interesting phenomenon that people don't even realize, right? So artificial intelligence is programming our feeds. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok specifically.
Oh,
that artificial intelligence is programming your feed, okay? You're scrolling through your feed, whatever you're seeing. If you're sharing a TikTok account with somebody and you guys are scrolling mindlessly 3 hours a day, you guys are becoming the same mind.
Yeah.
Like, I found that very, very much so with my friend when we were over the summer, when we were doing all the Being podcasts and 5D Warriors podcasts. We were on the same TikTok. We were posting the same videos every day, and we were making videos together and whatnot. And we're scrolling on the same feed. I didn't realize until the end of the summer, like, oh my goodness, we've been seeing the same videos every single day for 3 months. We're both scrolling on every off hour at work, because what else is there to do when you're sitting at work in the office doing nothing? Like, we lifeguard in the summer, so we're sitting in the lifeguard office just eating lunch, scrolling TikTok, you know?
On TikTok.
And your minds become one. Yeah. Because the artificial intelligence is programming humans now. We're no longer programming the technology. The technology is programming humans.
It's crazy. So, like, this summer, I was working at a surf camp. And in the surf camp, what I would do is, because I wanted to train my social media marketing skills, I wanted to see if I really understand it. And I went through 10 campers' TikTok feeds. And that's, like, incredibly personal. Is that recording? Okay, you could just get it going. We have the other cameras filming. That's incredibly personal, you know? So I went through them. I went through all the feeds. And I was able to tell each person's feed. Like, I open up the phone, I look through the feed. First video I'm seeing, okay, it's ASMR clips. And I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to see next. Food video next. I knew it. Chopping up food. That person likes that type of content. I go to the next person and it's all like boyfriend, girlfriend content. And I'm like, oh, you have something going on right now, don't you? And they're like, what do you mean? How'd you know that? What? And I was like, I mean, your feed directly resembles and reflects exactly what you're going through right now. And it was so cool watching the different types of feed corresponding to the individual and seeing how the feed can be so mirrored, like so perfectly connected to that person, where it almost frightened me. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, and the people who complain about their feed, right? If you're on social media all the time and you complain, I keep getting these videos, obviously, because you watch them all the way through. You send them to your friends. You hit share. I can't believe I saw this.
Oh, why do you think you're seeing that? It's obvious. Like, come on. But it's not obvious. That's the scary part.
Yeah. People don't realize how intelligent these apps are. And it's not the apps that are intelligent. It's the people who are programming these apps.
Yeah.
Right? It's what is it called in California?
What?
Where all the social media sites are.
Social media site? Are you LA? No. You're talking about Silicon Valley?
Silicon Valley, yeah. It's all the people in Silicon Valley programming the sites who are the ones.
Yeah, and freaking China. With that.
Exactly.
That's another thing. Oh.
And it's a phenomenon that we've never seen in our world. We've never had such an influence from external factors on the human mind.
Oh, no way. And especially now, like with this podcast, let's say this clip right now goes on to TikTok. That TikTok clip goes on to Instagram. That TikTok clip goes on to various different platforms. Whether we post it or somebody else posts it, regardless how it gets there, that impacts one person, another person, and it goes on their feed, and then they send it to other people, or they post it on their feed, and it's like the social media concept in connection to how it actually affects the mind is ridiculous. It is out of this world. The fact that you can completely manipulate how a person acts through a cell phone, like this tablet right here can this can ruin someone's life, or this can make somebody's life. Mm-hmm. And we have the control in our fingertips. It's legal. Mm-hmm. It's legal. It makes sense. You can't. It's regulated to a certain extent. But all right, that's fine. But the fact that device can manipulate emotion, it can manipulate mind, it can manipulate people to which is, it's sad, but people killing themselves. Like this device, but you can choose it for positive or negative.
Yeah, because you have the power, you have the choice of how you decide to use these social apps. Mm-hmm. Because if you go into these social apps and mindlessly scroll, you're not going to be serving yourself. But you can serve yourself by being a creator, by positively interacting with other users, right? By sharing positivity, by sharing love.
By posting positivity,
right? You're flipping the script. You're counteracting those negative effects of social media by your radiant energy, right? It's very simple. It's a simple formula. Like, put positivity out, receive positivity. Right?
Yeah, or even just like consuming positive content rather than consuming like toxic content. Because when you're consuming that toxic content, you just become a more toxic person. That's why when you follow more motivational pages and you follow pages on education or skill setting or like all these different types of development pages, you become what you're consuming. So using social media to your advantage is what I'm trying to get across over here. It's something that's so important. It's something that needs to be spoken about more often, because I haven't heard one podcast speaking about how to guide that. So that's definitely something that I want to continue pushing on here. I want to help people. Maybe we can help people curate their own feeds one day, or we can go on Instagram Live and help people, like really help people make their feed normal and try to consume positive content, to see more positive content, to help you become better, because you're not going to get rid of social media. That's the truth. We're not here to get rid of social media. We can't do it. It's not going to happen. There's billions of users. It's just, and it's too effective. It's too strong. You learn too much from it. People have gained way too much power for it to be stripped away from them from it, you know? Like TikTok is literally competing with Google's search engine right now because so many people are looking things up over there. So if we can take those searches and turn them more positive, whether it be through this podcast, through the events that we do, through the collections that we put out, or even just the social content that we post on social media, if we're able to do that through social media, like I did my job and I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's very simple. It's very simple.
Very.
Like, social media isn't bad. Right? Social media can be used for good. And the social media has an incredible reach on the world, and it's changing the world like we've never seen.
Never.
Like, this is an entirely new generation of humans that are coming in. Maybe even a new species of humans that are coming alive right now because of technology. Like, how a technology influences us is creating almost a new species of human beings.
Yeah.
You see how young people are wired and how elderly people are wired, and it's almost not even comparable anymore. But we're able to use it for good. Mm-hmm. Right? When we create and consume content that's going to benefit us mentally, physically, spiritually, and we can use social media to grow ourselves, to grow a community around positivity and love.
And then that community expands.
Exactly. Because no other time could you spread positivity to so many people than right now.
And no other time could you do the opposite.
Yeah. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for those who want to affect the world positively. Mm-hmm. Right? They have this opportunity. They have this vehicle by which they are able to reach millions of people if they choose to do so. And if you feel that you can do that, why not? Take a chance on yourself. Go on social media and share your message. Go on social media and share your story. Like, do these things and feel vulnerable about it, because nobody feels comfortable when they post at first.
No one.
Nobody. No one. It feels unnatural to sit and talk to a camera.
And even on top of that, let's say you get backlash when you first start posting. Like, when I first started posting on social media, I was humiliated. I was made fun of no matter where I went, and I didn't care. And it wasn't, at first, arguably, it wasn't that I was posting for myself. Is that going? Oh, no, that's fine. It wasn't that I was posting for myself. It wasn't that I was posting for other people. It was that I was posting to benefit my well-being. I was posting positive quotes. Like, I'm still doing the same thing. I was posting me reading to myself. Just me reading like a positive affirmation to myself, just to like get my head right, right before I take action. You know, the affirmation without the action is nothing, but we'll get to that in another podcast. And I was humiliated. Like, I'd go surf and I would have people make fun of me in the surf. Like, oh, here's a TikTok kid. Oh, TikTok. And that was when TikTok was still like taboo. Like, you have TikTok. Oh, you're weird. You're weird. And then now, like, I'm not saying I'm great, you know, but I'm saying that I've gotten over that fear. I've gotten over, and I used to care, and that fear turned off like this. One, because you don't see those people every day. You're not seeing those people. They're not going to comment on your post every single time. And if they do, there's ways to get around it. You can block them. You can get rid of it. But two, I found a more self-respect for myself. You know, I'm posting this for myself and anybody who wants to benefit. I'm not posting this for those Joe Schmoes that are going to go around and make fun of me. I just don't care if you're going to sit there and do that. This content's not for you. Don't consume it. If it bothers you, or if it makes you feel uncomfortable, or if you're jealous of what I'm posting, just don't consume it. You know, fair enough. But once you get along that path and you've compounded so much content, so many hours of experience within the field, whether that be podcasting or regular short form video content on Instagram, or whatever it is, like, it just gets so much easier. And if you really want to change the world, like, you can do it right now.
Mm-hmm. More than any other time.
More than any other time.
It's right at your fingertips. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody's got a computer. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Eternally grateful for this opportunity and this time that we live in, where we have food to eat every day, where we have technology and clean water, right? So be grateful and share your gratuity, share your love, share your positivity,
and keep moving forward every single day. Like never stop going. But I think we're out of time here again.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to end this real quick. So I'd like to thank everybody who's shown up on this podcast for coming. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, what's up? If you're watching this on any other streaming platform, because this will be on all streaming platforms, then thank you for sitting here and listening to our conversation. We'll be posting this Thoughts We Should Say podcast every single week. Did we decide what date? Are we posting Sunday nights?
I think we're going to be posting Tuesdays.
Tuesdays?
I think we're going to record Tuesdays, post Tuesdays.
Record Tuesdays, post Tuesdays. That makes a lot more sense. And then that'll go with the collection.
Do you have any new news about a website?
Yes. So the website is coming out this week. Right. The date right now is... What's the date? It's the 24th, Tuesday the 24th. It'll be out by the end of this week, and there's going to
it should be live by the time this is up.
Yeah, there's going to be so much new things on there. Community pages, blog, morning coffee reads, collaborative sectors that you could go into, testimonials for you to check out if you guys are interested in participating in a collection or buying something to support us. I'm ready to finally to kick this off, get going, finally get into flow.
Get the ball rolling.
So thank you guys all for watching. My name's Hal Doueck. This is Cory Englehardt. And check us out on social media if you haven't, at Hal and Doueck, HALNDOUECK. And Cory, plug yourself.
And at Cory Englehardt, CORYENGLEHARDT.
And get Being Media in there as well.
And then Being Media you can check out too is at BE1NG_media, MEDIA.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.